to have you back. My name is Ms. Boatin, and I'll be taking you through mathematics for Basic 3. Today in our first lesson, we'll be talking about numbers. And under numbers, we'll look at counting, representation, cardinality, and ordinality. We'll be looking at counting, representation, cardinality, and then ordinality. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to use number names and the counting sequence to count and estimate quantities up to 10,000. Let me take that again. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to use number names and the counting sequence to count and estimate quantities up to 10,000. Very good. So number names means the number or the numbers written in words. Let's go through our keywords, which will help us understand our lesson better. Our first keyword is count. Count. To know the total number of an item. To know the total number of an item. So when you want to know the total number of something, an item, you need to count. That will make you know the total number of the object or the thing or the item that you have. Our second keyword is sequence. Sequence. To arrange in a particular order. To arrange in a particular order. So when you want to arrange something in a particular order, you look at what comes first and then what needs to follow. For example, you want to count from 1 to 10. The first number is what? 1. The second number, you don't say 3 or you don't say 5. The second number is what? 2. So that is in what? Order. It follows a particular order. You are counting from 1 to 9. Okay, let us move on. Our third keyword is quantity. Quantity. The amount or number of a material. The amount or number of a material. That is to know how many items are in something. Let's take apples for instance. You have a certain number of apples in a barrel. How many apples are in the barrel? So after counting, you know the quantity of apples in the barrel. You are from class 2, right? And then you learned about numbers. You did counting, representation, and then cardinality. It is the same thing you'll be doing. It is nothing different. So let us recap or learn something from our previous class in relation to what we are about to learn. So in your previous class, you learned about loose straws and then bundles. We also looked at numerals and then their number names. Okay, so for instance, let's take our first number, which is what? 1. So 1, in this sense, we can term it as numeral. It It is in the figure form. It is in the number form. So the number name for 1 will be O-N-E. That is what? Spelling out the 1. And then 1 takes a form of a loose straw. 1 loose straw, like this. So we have 1. It is loose because it is standing on its own. It is just 1. It is 1 number. Let's take our second number, which is what? 2. Our number name for 2 is TWO. And then with our loose straw, we add another straw to it to make what? 2. So this tells us that we have 2 different loose straws. These are in the form of ones. They are alone. They stand alone. So numbers that stand alone, we can say that it is from 1 to what? 9. Because they are standing alone. So they are loose. Exactly. And then we'll move on to 10. So our number name for 10 will be T and E. We don't have to have a loose straw. 10 comes in the form of a what? A bundle. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it is in the bundle form. This way. So this is in the form of tens. So we have just 1 10. Is that okay? Let's look at the next number, which is 11. So our number name will be 11. So for 11, we need 1 bundle. That is what? A 10. And then 1 loose straw to make what? 11. So we'll have a bundle of 10. And then a loose 1. Let's look at what we have on the board. So 11 takes a form of 110, and then this 1 loose straw. 12. 12 will take 1 bundle, and then what? Very good. 2 loose straws. So it moves on like that. When we have 13, 110, and then 3 loose straws. We said the loose straws are in what? In ones. Very good. So that is what we learned in our previous class. Very good. So in today's lesson, we'll be using blocks to represent ones, tens, hundreds, and then thousands. We have our first block. So this block is standing on its own. So this block can be turned as 1. We have another block. which will be what? 2. Okay, the third one. Three. Our next one. Okay, let us move on. We have 5. The next will be 6. The next one, 7. We have 8. We'll add another block to give us 9. Very good. So these blocks are standing alone. Okay, so we are adding one more block to it to give us what? 10. So in this case, we can say that 10 blocks or 10 ones will give us 110. Let me say that again. We have 10 different blocks here, or 10 different loose blocks. So 10 of these blocks will give us 110. We have 10. So in all we have 1, 10. So 10 ones will give us 110. And then 10 of the 10s will give us what? Very good. So when we add 9 more 10s to this 10, we'll get 10 of the what? The 10 to give us 100. Let us look at it. Very good. So we have 10 of the 10s. Is that okay? So this is 110. Another 10. This is another 10. Now let us put all the 10s together and see the number that we have. So we have 110 plus another 10 will give us what? 20 plus another 10, 30, another 10, 40, the next one, 50, very good. The next one, 60. And then we have 70 for the next, 80, 90, and then 100. So we realize that 10 of the 10s will give us what? 100. I hope you are getting it. So we started from the loose blocks. So one of the loose blocks gave us what? 1. We have 10 of it. And then 10 of the 10s gave us what? 100. So from ones, we move to 100. And then 10 of the hundreds will give us what? 10 of the hundreds will give us 1,000. It means that we are putting together 100 blocks. So one of these 100 blocks times another 9 to give us what? 1,000. Very good. So we have ones, So we'll skip count in tens and then skip count in hundreds. Or as I said in the objective, I said that we are going to count in sequence. Okay, children, so we'll skip count in ones. Our first number, we have 1. In ones, it means we are adding 1 to it, to the first number. So when we add 1 to the 1 we have here, what will we get? 2. Very good. We add another 1 to this 2 to give us what? 3. Very good. When we add 1 to this 3, we have what? 4. Add 1 to the 4, what do we have? 5. Another 1 to the 5 will give us what? 6. We'll add 1 to the 6 to give us what? 7. And then we have 8 and what? 9. Very good. So these numbers are in what? In ones. Good. Now let us move on to the tens column. Right. So we have our first number as what? 10. We are adding 10. It means that we are what? Keep counting in tens. We are adding 10 to our first number or the previous number to get the next number. So our first number is 10. When we add 10 to this 10, what do we have? 20. Very good. We are adding 10 to the 20 to give us what? 10 plus 20. Very good. 30. Another 10 to the 30 will give us 40. So 40 plus 10, we have what? 50. Let's add 10 to the 50 to get the next number. 50 plus 10 will give us what? 60. Let's add another 10 to the 60 to give us what? 70. We are skip counting in tens. So we are adding 10 to the previous number, which is what? 70, to get the next number. So 70 plus 10 will give us what? 80. And then the next one, 90. Very good. Clap for yourselves. You've done very, very well. Now let us move to the hundreds column. 100 means that we are skip counting in hundreds to any number at all. Our first number is 100, so we are adding another 100 to it to give us the next number. So 100 plus another 100 will give us what? 200. The next one, 300. The next, 400. We are adding 100. Is that okay? So our next one, when we add 100 to the 400, we have what? 500. And then our last hundreds will give us what? 600. Very good. So we have skip counted in ones, in tens, and then in hundreds. Skip count means you have to add the number you are skip counting in. It can be 5, it can be 3. So it means that you are adding that number to the previous number to get the next number. Very good. So children, what have we learned today? Today we've learned how to skip count in ones, in tens, and then in hundreds. We've also learned that 10 of ones or 10 of loose blocks, 10 of them will give us 110. And then 10 of the tens will give us what? 100. And the 10 of the hundreds will give us 1,000. Very good. So on your screens, take your jotters and then skip count the following numbers. I'll meet you on Zoom so that we learn more on what we have done here. I'll come your way again. Be good children, and then stay safe. Bye-bye.